So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like or post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields, and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gulvesen, and I'm the tiny one.
Yep. Back in the hot seat after a slight hiatus.
We have had a break.
We have had a break.
It's allowed.
That's actually true. Mm-hmm. That's right. Sometimes some space is needed. Yeah.
But yeah.
But we haven't been lazy.
No, we have not.
Nope.
I would like to first, before I forget this,
Okay.
inform that we will have a free webinar on Sunday.
Yeah, nice.
This Sunday. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to this on Friday or Saturday, when it comes out, you can join on Sunday. If you listen to this in next week, you cannot join on Sunday. It has been.
That's right.
So that's too late.
So the people who are catching these, hot off the grill,
Yes. They can attend.
They will attend the free seminar or webinar if they'd like.
Yeah, so we will put, the reason I put up the webinar is because, as many know, we have our large weekend, the Flow State Continuum weekends, and people are like, but what is it? And we try to explain it as well as we can, but it's an experience. And as it is just as hard to describe if you are in a amazing concert, it's an experience to be there. You will not just say that the drummer is really good at drumming.
No.
The same is kind of Flow State. It's an experience, and you kind of need to be there to understand.
It's an event, a transformational event.
Yes. So what we do is that we put up a Taste of Flow
Yes.
on Sunday. It's 1.5 hours.
Super
It
cute.
starts at 7 o'clock Central Europe time.
Yep.
So what you have to do, you go into integrated-human.com and you go to the shop, and there on top there you will find a link to Taste of Flow. You register and you get a Zoom link.
That's
I
it.
will also put it down in the description into this podcast. I just want to say that because I will not forget it, but it's a free webinar. Jason will say many profound words that will help you think, and then C will have a Soma breath after to integrate some of the things that we've learned.
Exactly.
So I really hope that we see a lot of new people there and a lot of our regulars. And I think it's going to be a very good Sunday. I know it's going to be a good Sunday.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. So I hope that we see a lot of people there that are interested in the event. And we have a lot of people listening to this podcast that haven't been to this event. And I really hope to see some of them there as well.
That's it. And have you ever learned something and gone, oh, that's smart, but you just never implemented it in your life
And
at all?
most things.
You never did it? Exactly.
Algebra.
Yeah. How many people actually know what to eat, but they just eat junk anyway?
Yep.
Right? So the whole point is that when we lift your awareness, we change your perception. How do you integrate that into your way of being? Well, we have that technology, and the Taste of Flow is going to give you a little bit of a taste. It's going to give you a little bit of an upgrade there, and it's going to implement itself in your nervous system and make your everyday better.
Yes. So that's very important that we got to say that.
Yep.
And other than that, I do have some questions for you.
Oh,
Yes.
amazing.
Two very good questions.
Yep.
Let's start with number one. That's always good. This one is how to live in the now.
Yep.
So many people that, if you look at Instagram, for instance, or Facebook, or anywhere, basically, you can see like live in the now. But many people
moment.
in the moment.
Yeah.
And then usually in the videos I've seen at least, you see kind of people just doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Jumping out of a plane.
Yeah, for instance.
Doing a backflip off a cliff.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think
Eating
that...
fire. Okay.
Yes. Let's talk, because I think that could be an interesting conversation, because live in the now doesn't necessarily wreck your life and do whatever.
No.
Because you still have to take responsibility for your consequences.
Yes.
Living in the now doesn't mean that you're terminal
No.
and you have 1 month less to live.
Exactly.
So because this is I think many people that well, at least the commercial version of living in the now is jumping out of an airplane and sell your house.
Yeah.
That's not correct, right?
Well, this is.
What's your take on this?
Okay. This is a very interesting theme. Do you want me to just lay out the basic, or do you want me to take it all the way to the top?
Let's take it all the way to the top.
All right. Let's start on the ground floor. Have you ever been hit really hard in the stomach and you lost your breath?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment that you get hit in your stomach, you are completely in the moment because you are racked with pain. You can't breathe. And your focus is where? It's where the pain is, right? And then slowly you start to back yourself up to realizing you're not just pain, you're pain in the stomach. And you're not just pain in the stomach, but you're pain in the stomach in a body that can't breathe. And then you realize that, oh yeah, my name is Jason and I have pain in my body and I can't breathe. And you know, that's funny sound that I'm hearing now. Yeah, that's me actually. Oh my God, because I can't breathe. But your awareness starts to expand again, right? Well, jumping out of an airplane is like getting hit in the stomach. Your focus is on one thing, and your awareness is completely constricted to one thing. A lot of people think that being in the moment is that. Okay, you see? Do you understand the comparison? Hit in the stomach, jump out of an airplane. Same thing if you gamble all your money. That in that moment of suspense before you know if you won or lost, you're completely in that. You're just like, "Furr."
Yeah, at that moment you still haven't had to deal with the consequence of
exactly
of gambling all your money.
That's it.
Because right then you're in the limbo or the winning, not winning. You don't know because
You
right
don't
now
know.
you're just like
Yeah.
living.
and you're completely focused.
Yeah, on that ball,
But you're not
or the
thinking
card,
that
or
you need to pay your rent. You're not thinking that you have a spouse that's going to be pissed. You're not thinking about what a fool you look like, or the people who know you're betting everything in your house on this one roll of the dice and how foolish that is. And you don't know if there's like mustard on your face from the hot dog you slammed down as you're drinking free drinks in Las Vegas and gambling. I mean, your awareness is very small. And the reason why I'm bringing awareness into this and focus is that people mistake focus for presence.
yes,
Focus is something that comes from beta waves in the brain. I have a very high level of beta. I've had that measured at the university. A very high density beta wave focus ability. So I can be completely focused on one thing, but you can basically, when I'm focused on something, you can walk up and, smack me in the head because I'm not going to notice you're in there because I'm completely focused on the one thing. Or I can bring my awareness out and be aware of everything in the room or everything around me, just like most people. Okay? So focus and presence are different. Presence includes the different layers of you. It includes your physical body. It includes your emotions. It includes your thoughts. It includes your roles and your personal philosophy, your worldview, and your universal consciousness. When you're completely integrated, like we get at the Integrated Human, being in the moment can be completely focused on that one activity, trying to get that whack-a-mole, trying to hit that little thing that comes up, right? Or it can be the universal moment, which is infinite in time and space. It has to do with where your awareness is. What does being present in the moment? Quantum physics, physicists have now figured out that when they make their calculations where time and space don't exist, it solves all of the really strange mysteries that they've had in their mathematics, because there is now an awareness that there is something beyond space-time that's creating all of this. Just like your consciousness is beyond space-time. When you get a really good deep meditation, hours can go by and you think it's a second. Or a second go by and you think it's hours. Right? And you're nowhere at that point. When you're in that space, it's nothingness, nowhereness, no oneness, right? And when you have contact with that and you are aware of your emotions and you are still sitting in your body while you're having this experience, you're completely integrated. The moment, being in the moment, being present in the moment, being a presence means something different. So, comparing jumping out of an airplane with being completely enlightened and aware is the same as thinking that giving up all of your material things is the same as being holy. Just because you're poor and broke and don't have anything doesn't make you any more holy than the next guy. It just means you have nothing, right? Being attached to stuff also doesn't mean that you're holy or that you're whole, that you're free. But it's a very important understanding that doing exciting stuff is just all about being an adrenaline junkie. You should be able to do exciting stuff and also do not exciting stuff and still be present.
That's in the now.
In the nowness, presence, right? So I hope that helped a little bit. But that was a very good question.
Yeah, because just again, many the things and I've seen when it pops up is kind of live in the now, and then it's usually not sitting at a cafe,
no,
enjoying a book.
No.
It's usually doing something excited, doing something reckless, dare to live, dare to go spend all your money on something, or like you kind of don't wait to go on nice vacations until you are retired, type of thing, which is a yes/no thing in my opinion. But the way it's presented, it feels very unsustainable.
Oh, it's not sustainable. Exactly. It's an event. They think that somehow just giving up everything and saying goodbye to modern convention and all that is the way to do it. But you can of course run through the forest buck naked and shoeless if you want. If that's what
is your thing.
But that doesn't mean that you're more whole or more present than the guy who has penny loafers on and slacks and a t-shirt. Those things don't determine that. It's your connection with yourself, your integration. Exactly, your integration with yourself in that moment.
Just a relationship with you and your surroundings in that moment.
Yes.
It's not what you do in the moment that creates if you're living in the moment or not. Because the moment, the now, as it's presented in this question, is there no matter what.
Yes.
If you sell your house or not, it's about you're still in the now.
Yes.
So you don't have to do something like that to have the now.
Exactly. It's just shocking you. Like you better be paying attention. You jumping out of an airplane. You better know that your equipment's put together right. You better be alive.
A lot of the times it's also free from consequences.
That's
like if you sell your house or to live in the now. Well, that works in Norway. That works maybe May, June, July.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start to have an issue because of the weather.
Yep. Exactly.
And then it's very expensive living in Norway. So it's not that easy to get a place to live again.
Exactly.
And then the consequences, that also can kind of force you to live in the now because...
Well, that's what consequences are there for.
They're there for.
That's what pain's there for. It's like, yo, listen up, bro. You made a left turn and you should have taken a right one.
Yes.
So it's interesting because this whole thing brings up an idea, and that is that quantum physics talks about a singularity, basically a nothingness field that everything arises from. So nothingness becomes everythingness. And this is also supported in the ancient meditation text, which I find very fascinating. But you get this big bang, and then things start to materialize. And things cool off, everything becomes matter and what you see around you, right? But you have to remember that there's nothing in this whole place, in this universe, that's separate. It all comes from the same thing, and it's all resting in that field. People think that, well, I'm a person, so I'm separate from you, but you can never be separate from the things around you, ever. Yeah, but I'm a human being. It's man against nature. Shut up. It is not possible. You are nature. Show me something that's not natural from the natural world, from this planet in New York City. Right? Okay, well, there's a meteorite there. Okay, it's from the universe, but still, there's no material that's not from the earth in you or around you. You are connected constantly. It's just your idea of connection is either very local, like getting hit in the stomach, or it's universal. Okay? So people forget that the things that you are connected to consequences. They are a chain of events. So many people have gone home with somebody from a bar thinking that there's going to be no consequences afterwards.
Many have been wrong.
Yes. Can you spell chlamydia?
No, don't ask me to do that.
Nietzsche, no, exactly. Nietzsche
spell.
died of syphilis. What I'm saying is consequences, my friends. There is always a network of connections around everything that we choose and don't choose, do and don't do. That's what it is. That we think that we're going to hit the lottery and win all the money. And maybe some people do, but weirdly enough, because they don't have the behaviors of handling money and gaining money through work, they don't have the skill of handling money and gaining money when they are millionaires, and then they become poor. So there's a disattachment there. There's some kind of weird thinking that goes on that I want this, but I don't want any of the things that come with that. I want a big house, but I don't want to clean that house.
Well, you don't think that far.
Right? Well, that's the point. And again, is it a hit in the stomach where I'm just going to have this big life?
Yeah, you kind of hit one, and then you're not able to see what one means.
Yeah, that's it.
If you win the world championship in something, everybody wants to beat you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, everybody's going to test themselves against you.
If it's golf, or if it's jiu-jitsu, or if it's I don't know, piano.
Yeah, even if you're
painting.
80, even if you're 80 years old, you're going to have a 20-year-old guy that comes in and try to murder you, and then he's going to walk away thinking, "Oh, I did pretty good about him. Didn't even have to tap." It's like
I hit that ball much harder than he did. Well, he's 80.
He's 80, right? Yeah, but he's a world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Low Self-Esteem, right? It's like, but that's the interesting way that the mind partitions, because remember, like I've said before, the mind is about cutting away and limiting and isolating. The heart's about connecting and energizing and all of that. So they need to work together, right? So being present in the moment, is it a punch in the stomach, or is it a true landing in everything that is you? That's my question to you, my friends. Okay, let's go to the second one. Yep.
Yes. This one I'm looking forward to hear your answer on. And this is a question that comes from many of our clients and many of our practitioners on the Flow State events.
Sweet.
When people work with us, we essentially do is that they start to put different meanings on things. They start to think differently.
Yes.
They look at things different. So let's use two examples. Let's use that people can relate to. Let's use weight and money. So you have, for instance, now changed your mindset to I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm a human being in development.
And when you say you as in one does, right?
Yeah,
Are you,
yeah, one
'cause
does. Or no,
I
sorry.
do think I'm a little beautiful. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, but
I do.
well, you
Yeah.
say that to yourself because
Yeah.
you're building
Yeah.
your new thought, how you
Yeah.
want to look at yourself,
Yeah.
how you want to build that. Like I want to have a good relationship. Like say that you want to feel better in your body. You start to think differently about that. Yeah, I'm gonna choose this and not that. I choose differently. Same thing if you look at money. You, for instance, figure out that I want to use money on things that mean something to me. So you start to work on different constructs, different thoughts. What is money? Is it a way to get away from stuff? Is it a way to liberate yourself? Is it a transaction? You start to my point is that you in these different things, you start to change the way your mind works, how you look at things.
Yes.
How do you protect that when you work in a place where the culture is different? So say that you work in a I don't know, a place where you have lunch. I know I'm gonna go. I can't remember.
This pizza.
Yes, let's say a pizza place.
Yeah.
Pizza place. Perfect. You work in a pizza place.
Yep.
It's lunchtime. You sit down with your coworkers, and you're good with what you choose. You chose one slice of pizza because you wanted pizza that day because you're free to choose,
Yeah.
and you have some salad on the side, and you feel good about this.
Yeah.
And then and you tell yourself, I feel good about this. I can eat this. I'm energizing my body. I'm feeling good with what I've chosen. And then your coworker next to you goes, I don't feel good. I'm feeling overweight. I shouldn't have that cake. Oh no, I ate that cake. I shouldn't have had that cake. So they kind of start to their self-talk that they say out loud hits your self-talk because you're trying to change. And in my personal experience, I find, especially in transition, when you're trying to change the way you think and you meet and other people put their self-talk on you, it's very challenging. And some of our guys now that I met have said this, that how do you deal with this situation when you start, because what also happens when you start to work on yourself is that you notice it more in other people.
Yes.
So you hear that negative self-talk more and more.
Yes.
So if your goal is to get healthier and you're working really good on getting healthy and people around you go, ate that cake and then go, oh no, I shouldn't have had that cake. I feel so bloated now. That kind of, you get a little bit, it pulls you a little bit away from your self-talk and you hear it more and more. So you kind of, how do you deal with this situation? Because you shouldn't maybe just go up and leave. How do you deal with this? How do you protect your process when you're one in a group that are doing it and the rest are kind of just in their tiny bubbles doing their shitty self-talk and not doing any development then?
Yeah, this is an interesting thing because when you are awake and other people are not awake, you are affected by your peer group. You are affected by your surroundings. The question is how much? Because you and I were lucky that we get to work together every day. Right? We're super lucky because we have a performance mindset. We have a development mindset. We have an evolution mindset. We have an enlightenment mindset. We have an abundance mindset. We have a well-being mindset. We have a health and service mindset.
And we are constantly looking for things to improve.
And we're constantly
in these mindsets.
looking on how to improve our mindsets in all of these aspects. And you cannot buy that. You cannot. It's like a gift from God to have a peer group.
I actually got a lady coming in the clinic today and she said, you're so lucky to work with these people.
Oh,
said,
we're
"Yes,
lucky to
I
work
am."
with you.
I said, I am, but we work really hard
Yeah, we do.
on our mindset because
Yeah.
it doesn't come.
And
And she said, you guys get reminded every day. I said, yeah, but we also get reminded every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's never only positive. You see, that's
It's a consequence.
It's a consequence. There are consequences. Everything gives and takes. You know, it's like you're pushed to do good things. You're also getting taken away the opportunity to be shitty. You know, it's like it's difficult. You know, and like I remember this when one lady was complaining. She said, "I finally got myself this high value man, and he has such high standards. But God damn it, he has high standards for me too, and I'm tired of it."
Yes, that is basically where we're living.
Exactly. We're high standard all the time. But the point is that as you start to wake up and you improve, you'll notice that the people around you are probably not at the same level that you are, because most people walk around asleep. And what I mean by asleep is that they are so caught up in their story of how thing is and why things are, and they haven't reevaluated it. Most of that junk is from their mothers and fathers and teachers and preachers. And they have this whole construct around them of the way it is. They're still repeating, weirdly enough, traumas around eating that they learned when they were 4 years old or 11 years old or 7 year old, 6 year, 10 years old, whatever it is, that this idea from the TV came on, the Twinkie commercial came on, and then, you know, their aunt said something horrible about Twinkies and they really wanted a Twinkie. And then suddenly, oh my God, they're bad people because they want Twinkies.
Yeah, or you sit in a party or like a
Yeah.
birthday, super perfect. I've heard this many times. You're sitting in a birthday party and a aunt eats cake and they go, because that's what like why I came up with that example, and they go, I shouldn't have had that cake. Wait 5 minutes, they take another piece.
They take another piece, exactly, and that's the whole point. You know, we learn a lot of behaviors and mental patterns from our environment, and that's why it's so important to filter out the crap, the really toxic crap, from your social media, from the news, from things that just don't improve you at all. That's number one. The other one is that how do you separate yourself from other people's self-talk?
Yeah, and that's because
Yeah.
say if you're now going in summer in Norway, you're going on a camping trip
Yeah.
with your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So what you do is you double down on your habits and you make a partition. The reason you have a brain or an intellect is to make cuts and separations and walls. That's where it's useful. That is their thinking. That is not thinking. That is their thinking. That is not my thinking. You can find any person that you admire or that you have in your peer group that you kind of vibe a lot with. And if you really inspect their life, you'll find that there are behaviors they have that you don't like, that you don't have. You don't have to take everything from a person. You don't have to be exactly like they are, right? You can actually put a partition that's your self-talk. One good thing to do is to talk about how you change your self-talk, that you indirectly coach. And that's the thing, is that when you indirectly coach, you're also reminding yourself that you don't want that thinking pattern. So you say, yeah, I understand that, you know, you're feeling really awful. I also, you know, I was not feeling that great in my body, and I just started to do this new thing where I'm eating salad for lunch, and that's really helping me. I really enjoy that because I can really feel the difference, because I used to feel like this and this, but now I feel like this and this.
Or that I've decided to choose to eat cake or
Yeah.
not to eat cake.
Yeah.
But I'm telling myself I'm choosing cake.
Yeah, I choose cake today. It's fine that I choose cake. And then I don't regret the cake because I chose it. But I may regret the second piece, so I don't choose the second piece. But when I'm eating out of habit, I may not even taste the first piece, and then I have to have a second one because I didn't really taste the first one, because we're going off our automatic behaviors. So you can almost use other people's negative self-talk and bad habits as an evolutionary tool for yourself. Thank you for holding that crap.
So I don't have
So
to.
I don't have to. That's exactly right. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean I have to do it. So you can either use their good behaviors to adopt that and to lift yourself, or you can thank them for holding the shit.
Yes, you can resonate with them where you are. You feel they have good self-talk, for instance,
Exactly.
and then you when they have the negative self-talk, you separate yourself in your mind. It doesn't mean you shove Susie off the table.
Exactly. And that's one of those amazing coaching tools, one of the greatest ever tips in my coaching development was that somebody said, look for the glimpse of brilliance. You always look about what's absolutely positively fantastic and unbelievable at that person, because everybody has something like that. Even the shithead at work who's always complaining, there's something about that person, whether it's their smile or the way they're always negative. That's amazing.
How is it? Then I have tested that on someone that's always negative. I threw something other positive.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how I'm just to check.
Yeah.
They managed to turn it. I'm just like,
Wow. Exactly.
I was like,
They're like a
how-
negativity ninja.
how is that possible?
Yeah.
And actually learn a lot, because I was thinking, if you can turn this golden nugget into
shit.
something that is
Yeah.
a poop,
Yeah.
then it is also possible to turn poop into gold.
Yes, exactly. And if you're just looking for those glimpses of brilliance, then you're surrounded by brilliance all the time. And then that also helps you kind of guard your emotional state, because then you're like, wow, this guy is super negative. Oh, wow, let's listen. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you for the dose of inspirational negativity. I'll see ya. And I go to the next one. It's like, oh, wow, look at this person. Wow,
Yeah.
amazing. This person's always like that. Wow, so cool. So that's another way to protect yourself in that environment.
So it's not easy. It's hard work.
Oh, it's work. It's conscious work. It's being present with these people, because the more present you are, the less their bad vibes affect you. I learned this from a voodoo queen, and that is that as long as you're conscious with your breath, you're in control of your own spirit, and then all the voodoo in the world can't get you.
It's the best thing that people go. He didn't visit the voodoo queen. Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. I've hung out with all these people, guys. You have no idea.
Wasn't it the Caribbean or something? Or just in my head? Or like
It was Florida.
yeah, well, that's almost Caribbean.
Yeah, it is. But the whole point is that if you're in contact with yourself and your breath is consciousness, your breath is in your body, your breath is actually aligned with the moment and present with your breath, then you're basically not available to take on other people's bad vibes. But as soon as you lose it, that's a problem. So
And you start to kind of roll with the ball, and then
Yeah.
you get hit.
yeah,
more.
you start getting hit because you're not aware anymore. So that's a start anyway. And people are changing, people are growing, and they do actually also grow out of their jobs, and they grow out of their peer groups sometimes. Many people kind of wake up and they're like, oh my God, I no longer fit with my spouse. My spouse is not developing themselves. My spouse is the same old guy or girl that they were 20 years ago. And they're not interested in changing. They're not interested in upgrading. But if there's still love there, if there's still connection there, then you can use that difference between you as an evolutionary tool. It just takes work. That's what that evolutionary process is for you. Or you can just do what a lot of people do and change. That's also if the love's not there. But the love's there, then you need to work with that. And you can never, people say, oh, you can't change your personality. You can change anything inside about you want. You have the power to change anything inside you that you want. But you don't have the power to change somebody else.
No, don't.
They can change themselves, but regardless of what you do say, you cannot make them change if they don't want to. They have to choose it.
Yeah, and I think my best advice on what you said there is that because I tried, it doesn't work. You burn yourself, and you get run over because you stretch yourself. You're trying to lift something that you cannot lift, and you forget yourself completely because you just want good things for other people.
Yep.
And telling people to change also doesn't work. That often leads to confrontations.
Yes.
Try that as well.
Exactly.
I tried and failed because when you tell them to change, you're also per definition telling that they're wrong,
Yes.
and no one wants to say that they're wrong, hear that they're wrong. And often this confrontation happens in a heated emotional moment, and not in a very calm, collected, where they're looking for feedback.
Exactly. And that's why I said you need to indirectly, I'm repeating this, indirectly coach your friends and family, because if you directly coach them, you're telling them what they're doing wrong or that what they should be doing, it's going to be a fight.
Yes. But what does work is, like you said, to protect yourself and
Yes.
continue your own work. And that often has, in Norway, you would say smitte effect.
Yeah.
Like
It's contagious.
it's contagious. Maybe not, they will not maybe change everything, but maybe they, instead of saying that negative thing 10 times, they said 8. And after a while, maybe it becomes less and less and less and less. It's at least the pattern I've seen, that you don't even have to talk about it, but just that you change the things around you also will automatically upgrade some.
Yeah.
Of course, not as much as if they do the work themselves, but some will contain over.
Yeah. That's it. It'll flow over. And my friends, understand that the process is about you and not about other people. It's about your ability to relate to them. In the beginning, it's very difficult because you feel a difference between you and them, especially if you have been completely integrated with, your gang, and then suddenly you start to elevate yourself and you start to see more and understand more and realize that the vibration or the level that they're thinking is no longer good for you. You'll see that separation, but in the end, it's all love. You still love unconditionally. You still flow in that field of love all the time. And you start to recognize that everything around you is nothing but love. Now, again, doesn't mean that you have to say yes to everything or give money to everything or be close to everything or participate in everything, and say,
throw yourself under the bus for everyone.
Exactly. It's changing other people is not your business at all, because they are doing them as well as they possibly can. And they have a reason for what they're doing, good or bad. So it is disrespectful for you to try to force somebody else that's trying to lift a monolith with no handles. It's just, you're never going to be able to make the change lasting. And it doesn't matter how much you give them, how much pain you give them, how much punishment you give them. You can only support and allow for opportunities, and then be a great role model. And understanding that they're holding the shit so that you can have your own good habits, that helps sometimes.
Yeah, and you get to test yourself.
You get to test yourself quite a bit.
So happy camping.
Yeah.
Happy camping.
Yes.
And come back to us after.
Yep.
Yes.
So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day, and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.